Big Z Reviews. 21 Bridges is a new action crime drama that just came out this past week. And honestly, it is an incredibly forgettable film.
What happened?
Worst day in 18 years.
How many cops?
Case.
Why were they here?
They responded to a robbery.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Officer down! Automatic weapons. 2 shooters. They have training.
How old were you when your father's captain came? I asked for you for a reason.
I will find out.
So this was a bit of an odd release. It's been pushed back multiple times, and usually that would suggest, a troubled, creation of the film or troubled process. But as far as we can see, it's the SDX, the production company of that filmed it and releasing it. They essentially ran out of money this year, so they didn't have money to release this film when they were going to do advertising for it, and they still kind of really didn't do any advertisement for this film. And I mean, you have Chadwick Boseman, you have Black Panther, and you have the Russo brothers attached as producers, but it's just not a very good film. So the setup for this film is that they, the main character, Chadwick Boseman, he is, his father was a cop and he was murdered by some people, and now he's a cop and he murders people. You see, the first thing you see about him, he's trying to having to justify someone he killed on duty. And then you get to the next scene where these robbers, which I think, the biggest fault of the film is that they're almost like the second set of main characters, but you never get to know them. And even Chadwick Boseman, you don't get to know him. But these murderers, they think they're just going to get 30 pounds of coke, but then it turns out to be 300 pounds of uncut pure cocaine. So, and there's also a big thing where maybe the police are involved and they're dirty and a bunch of shenanigans. But then they have to kill a bunch of cops to get out there, and then Chadwick Boseman has to hunt them down and bring them to justice. And again, I think the biggest fault of this film, is from the director, Brian Kirk, and the scriptwriters, because you don't get to know anything about these characters. You only know about Chadwick Boseman is that his dad was a cop and his mom now might have Alzheimer's, but you only see a second of it. And now you don't know what kind of, if he's a good cop. That he kills people, but he says that I never shoot first. And it's yeah, you sure about that? It's I never shoot unless I'm threatened or something. It makes a lot of odd choices. And then a lot of time you're spent following these guys that just murdered cops. And you found, some of them might be dirty, but other of them were not dirty. And I think that if you wanted to do this angle, you had to have more time with them beforehand. And maybe set up their characters. The way they explain these characters is they go to the base of the NYPD is they give them names okay, this guy he's a veteran. He was dishonorably discharged though for disobeying his superior, and his partner is also a veteran, and the guy's brother and he was in the same crew died in Afghanistan in an IED explosion. And they get the explanation, the exposition dumps that this movie takes are just so heavy-handed, and they never. It's all it's all tell, not show. And then they have also Chadwick Boseman had this other person that's this drug bust person that's worked with them, played by Sienna Miller. But then it makes sense. Chadwick Boseman, I think he's never disabled. I think he's a detective. Shouldn't he have his own partner? But now he's randomly partnering with this girl. And it's there's a lot of stuff that's going around and trying to find him, whether he should kill him or whether he should, bring him in to face justice. And there's just so many odd choices, especially towards the end. They try to be really suspenseful and do a lot of different stuff. But then the setup for the big climax is when we stop to think about it. But well, how would they have known to be there? Okay. As an action film, the action is serviceable. it's nothing special, but there's also nothing bad about it. But I found something, the acting or the sound design was not good. Like, I couldn't, a couple of times, I couldn't understand what people were saying. Like, and especially, I felt like, especially Chadwick Boseman was kind of mumbling. Like, I don't know if he's too used to doing the T'Challa accent, but like, I don't know. Like, he was like mumbling his words, and there was this. I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I have really good hearing. I have really good ears, so it was odd, and it's just. I would not recommend this film. It's not anything horrible. I mean, if you're looking for an action film, it's serviceable, but it's just pretty blah. And I have like I saw Thursday last Thursday. I'm filming like not quite a week later, but I didn't really I didn't feel like it was worthy of getting all set up to do one film, to do this review for this one film. But as I'm reviewing it now and trying to remember all the stuff in the film, it's tough because there's not that much there. It's just not a good film. It's very forgettable, very mediocre. I wouldn't recommend it, but I mean, if you catch it later, like on Netflix or something, I wouldn't. It's not something horrible to see. I mean, it's decent as an action film. It's serviceable. It has some enjoyable moments, but the whole is just kind of mediocre. Probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10, 6.75. But thanks for watching. You should have the video player on my head and subscribe to me at Z over there. Thanks. This has been a Big Z movie review. Thanks for watching.